Hey everybody, Dux here, and we'll be doing the Marksmanship Hunter talent spec. So there was a lot of changes lately to Hunters. They're still doing some changes, but again, overall, it's getting to a spot where I think a lot of people are going to like this class the way it is now. So my first row, we have Black Arrow, which gives you fires a black arrow at the target, dealing 15k shadow damage over time over 8 seconds, and summoning a skeletal minion to taunt it for the duration. So basically, for 8 seconds, you're not tanking that mob. Black arrow cooldown is reset when you kill the enemy, or an enemy. Sorry. So if you don't want a pet, but you don't want a tank, then that's definitely a way to level. So that is actually something to think about when you think about this row here. If you want more focus, then you obviously go steady focus, which once you cast it twice in a row, then you get a 20% increase in your focus regeneration. Or you can go with True Aim. For every successive arcane marked or aim shot used to attack the same target, those shots deal 2% more damage. The target, stacking up to 20 times, can only affect one target at a time. So if you have like a fight, especially I see this more like relevant for raiding. Like if you have like a fight where you have a boss that's going to last for a while to kill, then that's going to give you that buff like the entire time, unless you have to do a lot of switching. If you do, then don't pick that, obviously, because that's going to reset it every time. But if you can actually get the to 20 stack and keep plucking at it, then you're definitely like a Fell Reaver kind of fight, I guess. When you start at the beginning and it doesn't hand in 2 seconds, obviously. But yeah, when it's actually a long fight, this could be actually a really good talent. If not, then I would go with steady focus. And if you're leveling and you don't want to tank anything and just want to stay back and pluck at it, then Black Arrows for you. Next row, I always pick Post Haste. That's just the one I liked. It increases your speed by 60% for 8 seconds after you disengage. So in a fight like a council, really helpful. Like you can go across the room pretty much. It's so fast. Like it's before you get like your debuff on you. For Strider, passive. When any of your attacks cause critical strike, there is a chance the cooldown of disengage will be reduced by 10%. I don't really care enough for that. I think usually my disengage is quite fine the way it is. Dash, the duration of aspect of the cheetah is increased by 3 seconds. Really don't care about that either. So that's why I picked Post Haste. Effective explosive shot, badass awesomeness right there. Must have for me. It's just one of the coolest shots that they've done so far. And if you don't know, what happens with explosive shot is fires a slow moving munition directly forward. Not what you're targeting, directly forward. You're facing this way, you're targeting something over there, that's not getting the shot. Your explosive shot is going that way. So you got to make sure that you are always cognizant of which way you're facing when you're using that. Now, that's not it. Now, you use it, right? Then you can see like your little rocket thing goes, and then again, like it says on the tooltip, activating this ability a second time causes the shot to detonate. So you have to make sure that the actual rocket is at the right spot, and then you press it again, and then boom, it does a massive amount of damage. In this case, dealing up to 99k fire damage to all enemies within 8 yards. It's an AoE move based on how close to the center of the explosion they are. So the closer they are to it, the more damage they take. It's just an amazing idea, and love it, love it, love it, love it. Cannot say enough about it. Again, it's an AoE move, and on top of that, it's a cool way to do it, a cool shot. Exotic munition hasn't really changed all that much, and then trick shot is a different thing, which is it can also ricochet and hit all vulnerable targets for 30% of normal damage, but it doesn't rival explosive shot. Don't care what they say, what they do, it will not change. Next one, I always pick with Wyvern Sting. It's always the same ones they have here. I just like Wyvern Sting. You just put your sting on the target, and that's it. It's one target less to deal with if you need it, but not necessarily needed, really. Again, situational more than anything else. And the next one I put patient sniper. Gain the patience of a veteran sniper, increasing your maximum focus by 30 and causing mark shot to apply deadeye instead of vulnerable. Deadeye increases your aim shot damage by 150% for 8 seconds. So it makes you want to do more aim shots. If you use, if you don't, then it gives you the other debuff. Again, it just depends on what kind of style you want to play. The other one is also here. Your next mark shot applies 3 stacks of vulnerability to all marked targets, and careful aim against targets above 80% health. Aim shot, arcane shot, mark shot, and multi shot have a 20% chance to increase critical strike chance, and those critical strikes deal an additional 20% damage over 8 seconds. That's what I had initially. Again, that's the two I would hesitate to in between, depending on how long it takes, how much help you have to deal with, really, and how many of you are on it. If it's gonna take you a while to get him down below 80%, then I guess careful aim would be a really good way to go. And if not, then patient sniper probably more. The next one, now it's a surprise. I was taking barrage initially, and now I am going with volley. Volley is actually really good. I mean, it's an instant cast. You have to click it's a click and drop and forget. So you put it there, you forget, and you just do your thing. You keep edge, you do your edge shot or your explosive shot, and then oh my god, it's already back on cooldown. Blink, put it back down. So it doesn't look like it's doing a ton of damage, but it does do a ton of damage over time. You're gonna be gaining on damage because you're not gonna be doing all kinds of lame ass shots that don't do much damage. This will constantly do damage for you, and it's not a channel. That's the important part. Don't get me wrong, barrage is better as well, because barrage now you can do it while moving, so it may be a situational thing here. I think if it's a quick kill, barrage probably better. If it's a longer AoE fight, then I would probably go with volley, because you don't really have a cooldown. It's 6 seconds, but it's 6 seconds that you just repeat, right? So this does, let's see, 129k damage, which seems like a lot compared to the 7k, but it's 7k over 6 seconds. It's a 6-second cooldown. This is a 24-second cooldown. Once you're done, like, you have a 20-second cooldown, so you have to wait the 20 second. He can cast this 2 more times at least, and he has another extra 2 seconds to that. So now let's say 40k per volley, right? So now you have 80, 120. So it's basically even, or just about, except the only difference is this you cast her out. And this, if the ads die quickly, this can be really good if you get it out early. I mean it's comparable, I guess. And if you want to go single target, you can go with Murder of the Crows. And then the last one, but not least, Edge Shot. Edge Shot is my faves, because it deals a massive amount of damage. Now don't be fooled here with the 307k damage, because I am actually level 104, so that the damage is actually scaled up to 104 right now. It's going to be higher, yes. That's the good part, but it's not like damage from a level 100, where usually that's where I am when I'm doing these videos. Then you have Sidewinders. Launches Sidewinders that travels towards the target, weaving back and forth, dealing 29k nature damage to each target that they hit. Cannot hit the same target twice, and generates 60 focus. And it's replacing arcane shot and multi-shot. So I guess it completely changes the way you regen energy. That's what it does. But I rather have edge shot. I think everybody does, or just about right now. Lock and load. Your range auto attacks have a 5% chance to trigger lock and load, causing your next 2 aim shot to cost no focus and be instant. Great, but aim shot doesn't do much damage. It's like your 3rd best shot right now currently. The best 2 are headshot and explosive shot, which are your 2 AoE shot, which makes it funny in some ways. So, but yeah, headshot is an AoE, in case you didn't know. So yeah, powerful shot that deals 300k or so damage physical to the target, and up to 150k physical damage to enemies between you and the target. And the U in between the target is very nice, let's put it this way. Like, if you hit a bunch of mobs are all grouped up together, you're gonna basically hit them all, or just about. It's not gonna be like, oh well, this guy is behind the target, and like it's usually not like that. At least like a certain close radius, it works. So again, that's what I'm going by for now. And again, it's going to be a lot of different things happening still to a marksman. I'm pretty sure they're not going to be done with changing stuff, but they're definitely going on a path that I think a lot of people are going to be pleased with. I know Azorthian, I think it was, when he made a video with Final Boss, he was kind of describing hunters as really bad, but marksmen are definitely not that anymore. They were initially, I'll admit, I'll totally admit with, and say yes, he was right, but now it's definitely in a much better place. Survival is the one that's really in the back and struggling. They did some changes, so I'll go and check that as well, and we'll post that in the next video as well for survival. And then Beast Mastery is kind of like that easygoing spec that it's always been, like, oh, I want to cruise without really doing that, not doing too much kind of thing. But again, we'll see again some more specs soon. So again, make sure you thumbs up so I can give you more updates. Again, thanks. Oh, and see you later.